It's pretty interesting. Probably around 0.5% of all human beings, the number may not be exactly that, have some sort of opinion or have taken some form of exposure to cryptocurrency / Bitcoin. So this is the X. These are the early adopters. These are the ones who said, hey, here is something new and interesting that I would like to take a position in. Then there is the 1 minus X, which is the 99.5% of the people. What I find interesting is that these two groups don't necessarily understand each other. So when I am in a set of people, none of who have any Bitcoin exposure, that doesn't stop them from having an opinion about Bitcoin. What shapes this opinion? Well, fundamentally two things. One is what they have read in the media, and the second is their thought process of aligning this new type of currency with the old type of money. Both of these are extremely risky. On the one hand, I have found that conventional media tries to simplify the cryptocurrency paradigm by drawing analogies with existing money. So, for instance, who issues the US dollar? Well, some arm of the US government, the Federal Reserve, etc. Who guarantees its value? Once again, some arm of the US government. It is backed by the government's promise. Who creates Bitcoin? Anybody. You, I, anybody who is a miner. In fact, we don't even know who is doing that at present because these records are not necessarily identifiable back to a person unless that person wants to be identified. Who backs the value of Bitcoin? Well, all the people who believe in Bitcoin. Now, when you try to do apples to apples between these two forms of thinking, invariably, you will find one way of thinking superior to another. And if that is going to be the case, we are going to take an extreme position. The role of media, the role of reporting, the role of fair third parties who come and report this, I think is extremely crucial and has been something that has largely been lacking. On the one hand, there is this very cryptomaniac, crypto-fanatic media who is, a cheerleader for everything great that happens in the crypto space. On the other hand, there is a conventional media who will still keep finding guests who will come and talk about how there is no intrinsic value, and some of the most famous investors in the world who I hold in high regard otherwise have come and made very derogatory statements about this. So, the way you as a prospective participant in the market wants to think about is, I think, two things. One, instead of trying to say how many people are for it and against it, you need to focus more on what is it that they are for or against. Any new emerging paradigm is going to initially be adopted by a negligible number of people because things start from zero. So the fact that only 0.some% of people today are convinced of Bitcoin by itself doesn't mean anything bad. It could be a proof that this will never emerge, or it could be proof of the fact that this is a great early stage opportunity. I don't know. You decide. But instead of focusing on how many people support which side, I think you want to think about what is it that they are saying. So for instance, there are certain promises that cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin bring to the table. If those promises are met, if indeed what Bitcoin stands for becomes the truth, what would that world be like? Do you look forward to live in that world? Do you think human beings would be better off? Do you think that some of the limitations, not all, but some of the limitations that money in its present form has would be overcome with a cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin? If yes, then those are very positive signs. If, however, you feel that this is, as some people have called it, vaporware, I think then you should probably go ahead and take a negative stand in the market. Right? Today it is possible to short Bitcoin, right? In a wide variety of ways. All I would say is that I don't enjoy talking to people who seem to have extreme views about it one way or the other, but at the same time are not willing to take any position. Because sitting on the fence will absolutely never get you anywhere. Right? Let us see how this emerges and the role that you will play in it.